So Mortar's got a massive buff in the new update 39.0, and today we're going to be using those to beat chimps on another brick, as you can probably see. This map isn't really Mortar territory, as you can tell. It's not really circular in any fashion, but because of the new buffs, we make it work just fine. Poppin' ore is actually good now, which is awesome because they took what artillery battery had and just added the attack speed to the tier 5 instead of removing it, and so now it's actually a really good tower, as you'll see further along in the guide. Stick around for around 100 because that is utter destruction, or just go watch it now if you want to, it's right at the end of the video. Start with an NG right there, so it sees the bottom track, and then a dart above it, in the same spot pretty much, just seeing the top track. Set the dart to last. You don't have to turn off auto start, but you can if you want. Just makes some placements easier. At the end of round 7, get a sub in that bottom pool of water so that the top and left side of its range touches the left and top border of the track. So that grey border right there should be touching the outside part of the sub's range border. Get larger surface area at the end of round 9. Round 12, set your NG to strong, because we need it to target the yellows that come out mid-round, right there. And then for 13 you can just set it back to first and turn auto start off if you had it on. At the end of 13, get a Spectre as bottom left as possible in that corner. And this Spectre is pretty much going to be our carry for most of the run. We're using spines because it didn't get nerfed in this update, and it should have probably, because yeah, it is just really strong still. So yeah, hopefully they nerf spines and relentless glue in the next update, because they didn't in this update. Right now we're just saving up for Striker. The reason we're using him is he got a bit of a buff too. He got a new ability that lets him auto-target mortars, which is fantastic. So at the end of round 16, place him right about there so the left side of his range is touching the left side of the wall, and then set him to strong. And now you can turn auto start on if you haven't already. Get oversized nails on your NG after you get biker bones. Then pin at the end of round 19. And pin is a game-changing upgrade in the early game, especially if you have a Sprockets NG or a double gun, which is what we're going to be going for. So get double gun at the end of 21 and just destroy round 22. The Striker's early game is pretty terrible, but he makes up for it by the fact that he can hit leads, so we don't have to actually worry about lead popping at the moment. Even though it wouldn't really be that big a deal anyway, but yeah. So Poppin' got a massive buff in the recent update. They actually nerfed all of its damage stats to back down to 1, but they gave it the 4 times increased attack speed that artillery battery had with the ability, and so now it has the Poppin' ability, which pretty much stuns all Bloons on screen. And it also has the insane attack speed of artillery battery, which is pretty awesome. So Mid 29, get a village right about there, so that the factory is in range of it, of course. And then give the village the discount upgrades. And then get bigger stacks on the factory mid 31. This entire guide is really chill. There's pretty much no ability usage except late game, but that just is really to destroy the late game. At the end of 33, get even faster production on your factory, so 120. And now all you need to do is just work that factory up to a 320. That's going to be around 40. Get spiked balls at the end of 36. And then get an alk next to your spiked balls, because we need that, obviously. Alk is just OP. And then start upgrading your alk to a 320 Berserker Brew. You should have a 320 alk and a 320 factory before 39. And that's all you need for round 40 because this map is pretty easy. So just upgrade that village to bigger radius, mid 39, and then place a druid as high as possible in village range. So about there is good. And upgrade it to a 130 druid at the jungle before 42 because the regrows on 42 actually do destroy you if you don't, so make sure you do that before 42. And the druid just helps for 43 and 47 as well. Upgrade your village to a 202, so jungle drums, after you have your druid. And let me just say, the Alchemist Slime Pet is super cute. Upgrade your Alk to a 420 Strongest Stim, mid 45. Upgrade your factory to a Spiked Mines, mid 49, or at the end of 49, just before the Moabs come out on 50, even though we can tank quite a few Moabs with just a Spiked Balls. But anyway, get your Spines, and now it's really chill, because Spines is just OP. So after you get Spines, get another village topside, about there is good so that Biker is in range. Upgrade it to a 202. And then find the Mortar Monkey on the shop panel. There we go. And place it anywhere really in village range. Probably higher is better. And remember, it does not have to be in range of Biker. It's not a bomb shooter, so it doesn't get any in range of Biker buffs. So you can put it anywhere in village range, and that's fine. Upgrade it to a 230, which is actually quite a good tower right now. Upgrade to Artillery Battery at the end of 55, and now the setup is complete. It is completely AFK until we can afford Pop and Ore. So I'll be back then. If there's no ability usage or anything, feel free to use Artillery Battery's ability if you'd like, but it's not necessary at all because Spines is OP. At the end of round 74, get Popinor, just in time for 75, which is a bit of a difficult round. But yeah, not with Popinor. As you can see, it just kind of destroys everything, and Spines is kind of useless for the moment, so yeah, that's nice. At this point, your next step can be to get another mortar and then start upgrading it to a 420. If you want your Popinor to get 1,000,000 pops, don't do that quite yet. As you'll see, I get 1,000,000 pops on Popinor in this run, and I get biggest one a lot later to help facilitate that. So if you want 1,000,000 pops on your Popinor, hold off on getting your top path mortar for now, and I'll see you back when I decide to buy it. During 82, get your second mortar in village range, and then upgrade it to a 420 big one. This tower is not great, but its tier 5 is pretty decent. So the reason we're going middle cross path is we have cleanup with spines. If you need your biggest one to do cleanup, then you want to go bottom cross path with burning stuff, because it does a lot of good ceramic damage, but middle cross path is more for stalling, which is better for us on this guide in particular because we already have damage with Popinor and we already have cleanup with spines, so the stalling is much better. On 85, use the Striker's first ability and use the Popinor ability as well and just destroy the ZOMGs. That's pretty much the assignment on any rounds with the ZOMGs because we don't really have ZOMG damage at the moment. '87, same thing. Use Striker's first ability, then use Popinor and just destroy the ZOMGs. Make sure both your mortars are targeted to that top corner, by the way. And then just do the same thing for 88. Stun and Popinor. And the ZOMGs get taken down, no problem. Get the biggest one at the end of round 88, and then just turn off auto start before 90, because we have to get a signal flare so that our mortars can actually hit DDTs, because we have no camo detection at the moment. At the end of 89, get a mortar in village range, upgrade it to a 013 signal flare. You want to target it to the middle part of that top vertical track, so not the corner as the other two mortars are targeted, but the middle part of the vertical track, and then just upgrade it to 023 at the end of round 90. We are going to be getting shattering shells. We are not going to be getting Bloons in because this map just really isn't good for it, and it costs too much to do mortar access on this map in particular because it's not really a mortar map. So 92 stun the ZOMGs, and you can also use Popinor if you want. Honestly, you can use Popinor at any time in the 90s. If you want to pad some stats, you definitely can. Get shattering mid 94, and then stun and use Popinor for the ZOMGs on 94. '95, as you can tell, you don't have to use Popinor, but if you want to pad some stats, you can, for sure. Just use it earlier so you have it off cooldown. 96. 96, you can stun the ZOMGs with Striker's first ability, and you don't need to use Popinor. And that's how you know you don't have to use Popinor for 94 or 92 either, but yeah, just do it to pad some stats, because why not? At the end of 96, get a second artillery battery in village range, then a third also in village range, and then target them both to the corner. This is going to be around 100 because Popinor buffs artillery batteries bad damage, and so we're just going to absolutely demolish the bad on round 100. 97 is a bit of a long round. What you really should be doing is just use Popinor and artillery battery after stunning with Biker's first ability, because we don't need it for 98. I instead opted to follow them along with Biker's second ability, which is the auto-targeting mortars, but it just makes the round take longer. You can just use ABAT and Popinor and you'll be completely fine. But you can also do what I did, it just takes longer. At the end of 97, another mortar in village range does not need to be in striker range. Upgrade it to 230, target it to the normal corner. And then for 98, all you have to do is just stun the ZOMGs and then use attack command, and that just gets completely destroyed. Just utter destruction, it's kinda nuts. Get your third ABAT at the end of 98, and then get a Spectre right about there in village range. Upgrade it to a 220. And then for 99, just use Popinor to stun those DDTs, because they're pretty pesky. Get Moab Shredder at the end of 99. And for round 100, all you need to do is just let your attack command cool down. The bad might make it a little bit down the track, but don't worry about that, we have a Spectre. Once your attack command is cooled down, use Striker's second ability, then his third ability, then all your other mortar abilities, and it's over. Just complete destruction. And look at that, we managed to get just above 1,000,000 pops on Popinor, which is pretty awesome. You can definitely get more if you delay the biggest one.